Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thank you guys for coming to another week of Taking Imperfect Action with Jade. Today we are going to do some Q&A, do some live calls. And if you didn't get to check out yesterday, I got to interview Jana Clark on my YouTube. She is a Maryland realtor and investor. She had some really insightful things to say. You guys can find that video on my YouTube channel. I'm going to give it a few minutes to let some people roll in here. I'm pulling up some properties to call on, focusing on low equity on market properties. A simple way to, if you don't have batch leads or PropStream or Privy or any of those things, a way that I think is simple and free to find potential creative finance deals subject to specifically. You can go on Zillow.com, and search for properties in whatever area you're looking for that have been built in the last 3 to 4 years. And those properties are going to be a little bit lower equity ones, most likely. Now, if they are brand new builds, a lot of those have construction loans on them. And as far as I know, you cannot do anything creatively with a construction loan. But anything that's built, up until 2022, most likely low equity, people that bought properties in the last few years and are having, honestly, people that bought in the last few years and got an interest rate that is, 2, 3, 4%, they're most likely selling because they have to, not necessarily because they just want to. Most likely relocating for, at least the ones that we talk to or the ones we deal with, are relocating for a job. They are military and are getting restationed. They can't afford the house anymore and they're behind on payments. I had one today. I'm actually waiting on the mortgage statement for this one. We had sent the offer 2 months ago. The agent didn't want to discuss it at the time, and I think they actually ended up accepting a traditional offer, and then that offer fell through, and I followed up a few more times with no response. I followed up again last night, and the agent was more than ready to talk, and come to find out that these people are headed to foreclosure. They're like $75,000 behind in arrears. So crazy. They couldn't get, the bank won't approve the bank won't approve a short sell, and they couldn't get approved for a loan mod. So they literally have no option but to do subject to, assuming that it works, is quite a bit of arrears. But anyway, yeah, so people that are selling and that they bought in the last few years most likely have a good reason as to why, a good motivation as to why they're selling. Okay, I have a handful of properties lined up. I just went through batch leads and put in a few filters. I stayed under 500,000 and stayed under 500,000, and I left it to properties that had just been bought within the last, I think I went to 4 years. And I'm just kind of going through and looking at mortgage compared to list price and picking out the ones that are the lowest equity to call on. Just because they were bought in the last few years doesn't necessarily mean that they're low equity. There are a few on here that I see that they bought it, 3 years ago and have like 50% equity still. So maybe they put a big chunk down. Maybe they did a lot of renovations to the property. Maybe that market's just highly appreciated. I don't know. But for this purpose, I'm not going to call on those today. I would also love if anyone, last week we had Aaron get on here and make some live calls. He's newer to Subto community and hopped right in here and started making calls. So that was really fun. I liked that a lot. And I would love if anyone else wants to get on here and make some calls. I think that would be really cool. I actually have someone. Let me see if I can get someone to hop on here. Someone I've been working really closely with. I think it'd be cool to have her on here. Okay. Let's make some calls. I'm going to make some calls on first calls, actually calling about the listing. My ear is really itching today. I don't know why. I'm probably going to the first few calls, you're going to see me probably retraining how I have this conversation, simply because a lot of the conversations I have now on a day-to-day basis are follow-up calls. I really don't do a lot of initial calls anymore. I'm just following up on properties that we've already sent offers on. So my brain's kind of in the mode of having those conversations and not necessarily the upfront conversation. So you'll see me taking imperfect action and probably just getting back into the rhythm of making the calls the first few times before I find my way. So hopefully this provides some value to you guys. Let's see.
You've reached the voicemail of Allie Atkins.
Double dial. If you didn't dial twice, you didn't dial at all. No, what is up with my voice today?
This is Allie.
Hey, Allie. My name's Jade. I was calling about your listing on Cooper Court.
Yes.
Is that one still available?
It is still available.
Amazing. I was looking at it. We're looking for a rental property and just came across this one. I wanted to give you a call and see if there was anything you could tell me about it. Maybe I just couldn't see on Zillow.
The carpet is all, which is all on, that should all be on Zillow, but the carpet's all brand new. The paint is brand new. They bought it like a year or so ago and then decided to move to a different state to be closer to family.
Okay.
It's in really good condition.
Okay.
It's in a great area. It's in a cul-de-sac. That neighborhood, if you're not from Bartlesville, are you in Dallas currently?
Yeah, I am in Texas.
Okay. I grew up in Dallas, and when I moved to Bartlesville, I wish I would have moved into a neighborhood that was more similar to Covington Park because the neighbors are all so friendly and all the kids are always outside, and it has a community pool and a playground. All my best friends actually live in that neighborhood, so it's a great area, especially if you're not from around here.
Amazing. Okay, so there's an HOA. Are there any rental restrictions?
I don't think so because I have a friend that owns a house over there, and he's renting it out. So okay. I don't think so. No. Mm-mm.
Awesome. Do you have an idea of what I could get for rent, just as is?
How much do you think people would rent out for? We don't have a ton of rental properties that are that big. I could ask my friend and see what he rents his out for, but it's not near as big as that.
Okay.
There's probably like 2,000 square feet.
Okay, no problem.
But it's still a 4-bed, 3-bath, 3-car garage.
Right.
But yeah, I would have to look. I have rental properties myself, and I have a 3-bed, 2-bath. My most expensive one is like $1,650. I don't really know too many rentals that go up at like, $2,800 here. They're harder to get.
Okay.
So it's not going to be 1% of your list price, I wouldn't think.
Right. Okay.
I don't know if that matters. It's from like an investment standpoint.
Yeah. Okay. That's helpful. Have you guys had any offers so far?
We haven't had any offers yet.
Okay.
We have not. We've had three that they're considering, but we haven't had an offer on the table.
Okay. I'm assuming since they've only owned it for a year, they probably don't have a ton of wiggle room on price, right?
Yeah, and they, I'll tell you, let me pull it up real quick because they're losing money on it either way.
Mm.
Let me tell you, it's under, I think, what they purchased it for. $56. Hold on, I don't remember. What did they purchase it for? Wasn't it $416? I don't remember. $56.14 cheaper. Let's see. I could be wrong. Why isn't it working? Yeah, my hotspot is still on. We're in the car. We're sitting in front of the listing.
No problem.
Right now. Let's see. I think it was like $416. I can double check, but.
Okay, so they're planning to write a check to close.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, dang.
Or for sure losing some of their down payment. Let me double check that because I could be wrong. They bought it for $404.
Okay.
So and they're at $3 $399.9.
Dang. Okay.
And they put it, and it's like all brand new, like brand new paint, brand new floors. I mean, it's better than probably any, like condition wise,
Right.
better than any of the others over there that has sold within the past year.
Yeah. Okay. I just closed one that was similar situation. They bought it less than a year ago and they were having to write a check for, I think it was like $8,000, 8 or 10 grand, something like that. So
Yeah.
instead of coming in and, offering them a cash offer, which would probably be lower than what they even owe, we offered to take over their mortgage payment and pay the realtor commission, pay the closing costs, and actually put a little cash in their pocket to help them move on. Is that something you think might be helpful?
I think so. I think that might be helpful for them.
Okay.
I mean, I think they're open to anything. They're not going to be. I don't think that they are like emotionally attached to the house. I think that they're realistic and reasonable and very logical people. So yeah, I mean, I think that they would look at anything.
Okay. Are they trying to purchase another property wherever they're moving?
They already purchased one.
Okay. Good to
It
go.
was like all super last minute, like blindsided. Because they had been looking with me for several years, but they went and visited somewhere, and like I guess the perfect house fit bill at the perfect time, and they decided to buy it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I bet they're ready to get rid of this one.
Yeah, I think they are. So.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, could you text me over your email address and I'll look at some numbers and get you over an offer.
Okay, that would be awesome. I will shoot it over to you here in a minute.
Perfect. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. So that was a really good call. That's a really nice agent. I need to keep track of which ones I need to send offers to. She was super understanding. She really didn't even ask many questions, right? She was like, yeah, I think they'd be open to it. Nice. She already sent me her email. So yeah, these people bought it for $405 a year ago and have it listed at $399. They just did a $15,000 price cut. It's only been on the market. Let me see if that's right. Yeah, it's only been on the market 34 days, which is not bad. But they already moved out of state and purchased another house. So they're having to make 2 mortgage payments, which is no fun, especially when they put all this money and are having to plan to write a check at closing. So I love the agents that are super nice. My goal always is to get the agent talking. So I just ask the question and try to ask like open-ended questions to get them talking. She had no problem with that. She was super talkative, ready to tell me everything that was going on without me even digging that much, and super open to looking at any offers. So really, really good call. Do you guys have any questions or any feedback about that call? Thank you, Sean. Y'all, Sean is a killer on the phone. He's so smooth. Okay, I'm going to write this down that I need to send an offer. If I have a pen that works. If you guys want to get up here and make calls with me, that would be fine. I can send you a link to get on here and make some calls. If you have any questions, any feedback, any leads that you need help with, let's work them. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Not every call is like that, by the way. There's a lot of agents that are not that nice, not that willing to tell you information. So I feel like I got lucky that being the first call of the day. The next one's probably going to cuss me out. Let's see.
forwarded to an automatic voice. Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message
I'll leave a
system.
voicemail.
40579569996 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Michael, this is Jade calling about your listing on Connect Drive. Just had a couple of questions for you. If you could give me a call back at 972. Okay, just left a voicemail for that one. Ooh. Yes, let me put my deal submission link in here. Where is it? Always happy to help anyone close their deals, dispo their deals. We have a great underwriter on the team. He does an amazing job. That is my deal submission link. You can put all the information about the deal in that link. We will see it and underwrite it, talk about an offer. We'll send out the offer for you if you have not already. If your numbers are already good, we can help you get that deal closed and dispoed. Sean, yes. We'll get that looked at today. Let's put it together. We'll look at deals anywhere. Anywhere in the U.S. It doesn't matter. Thank you. That means so much. We have a really great team. Our team, I feel like, is like a little family. We love doing deals with new people. Or we actually talked about the other day how we want to expand that and do deals with more and more people. So we love to help you in any way we can to get that deal done. I like that. The money is the same in all 50 states. Yeah, whatever state you got, we'll work it. That's hilarious. Sean, you want to get up here and make calls or what? Man, if you guys don't know, it's not on my YouTube channel. I need to figure out how to get it on my YouTube channel, but if you go into Myron and Carolyn Briley's YouTube channel, Myron and I did a 12-hour live at the beginning of July. 12 hours straight all day. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about, I think we broke down our team. We broke down the systems we use. We broke down how we're finding deals. We did live calls to agents. I did some live calls, and we brought other people up like Sean on the screen to make some live calls. It was a lot of fun. So 12 hours is a lot to watch. Maybe you go watch the part that you need. So there's that. I think it's so cool seeing people just get on the screen and start making calls. And I think that wasn't the first time that I've called in front of people, but I do remember the first time I made calls in front of people and I was literally like shaking. And I'm not nervous on the phone at all, but I was very nervous to call in front of people. I think just having people listen to my calls kind of freaked me out. But after doing that several times in a small group, I got more comfortable, and then Myron made me do it in front of like 100 people on the YouTube live. And so after that, I was like, I'm cool. So I think once you can get up there and call in front of so many people or even just a few people, it breaks down your barriers, makes you more comfortable to just call by yourself, right? You're like, I just did it in front of all these people, no problem. When I'm by myself, it's nothing, right? So it's just putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations that may seem horrifying at first, but they actually make you grow so much. I'm so thankful for doing that 12-hour live because I think it made me get out of my shell a bit more and made me super comfortable in doing things like this, or maybe more comfortable in doing things like this. Hey, Aaron, how's it going? If you guys missed last week, Aaron got on here and made some live calls. He did a great job. It was super cool having him jump up here and call some agents. No script, no nothing. I just gave him an address and phone number and he hit the phone running. So that was really cool. Okay. Ooh, this house has 2 primary bedrooms with each a private bathroom. Fancy. Let's see. Ooh. I was calling this one. So this one's it sold originally in 2021. It was relisted the beginning of this year and has been on the market since February of this year. It shows that they literally just took this property off the market today, but I'm still going to call the agent just to see if he'll talk to me about it and if he still wants to sell it.
This is Michael Gregg with the REMAX Realty Plus office. I'm sorry I missed your call, but if you leave me your name and number, I'll return your call as soon as possible. Thank you and have a great day.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Michael, this is Jade calling about the listing you have on Augusta Court. Just had a couple of questions for you. If you can give me a call back at 972. Okay, that one went straight to voicemail, so just left him a voice message. All right, on to the next one. This is a weird looking house. Okay. Ooh, this one sold February of 2022. Got relisted almost 60 days ago. And they've been cutting the price. Like they literally started cutting the price a week after they listed and have been cutting it consistently ever since. Not by very much, but I would guess that they got somewhere to be if they're cutting the price that quickly. How do you handle when an agent tells you that their seller wants all the cash up front, so creative wouldn't work? I think there's a couple of follow-ups there. So first, why do they want all the cash? Do they just want it or do they actually need it? Are they trying to go buy another property? Do they have debts to pay off? Like, I think there's some follow-up questions there. Are they just like the idea of having all that money, right? So I think it depends on that. Do they need it or do they want it? And then I try to see if we can make it a win-win. So like I had one the other day. I think that they wanted like $80K all up front. And so I was like, well, what if we can meet in the middle, make it a win-win? We give half now and a half in payments. And the agent was willing to, go back and talk about that. So I think it just depends. Do they want it or do they need it? How much do they really need, right? Oh, they really need, they have 90 grand in equity, but they really need only 30 to go put a down payment or whatever. Okay, cool. Let's work out something there, right? Getting to the bottom of what the actual issue is and how you can solve it. And then running the numbers, see if you can give them all their cash up front. I mean, it depends how much equity is there, right? Something I heard Pace say not too long ago, which I thought was a really good response. I have not used this yet, but I'm ready to use it the next time I hear this. So say that they have 100 grand of equity or whatever, and they just want it, right? There's no real reason. They just like the idea of, no, I want you to give me all my money up front. Pace made a comment. He acts super shocked, and he's like, really? That surprises me. Most of my sellers actually want to try to get the least amount they can up front so they don't have to pay a whole bunch of taxes on it. Like, just curious, does your seller know something, know a way to get around paying that much taxes or whatever, right? Make some comment like you're shocked, and like most sellers don't want that. So then it'll probably make the agent and the seller rethink, like, oh, other sellers don't want this. Oh, you're right. I do have to pay taxes. And they start thinking about it when you act kind of shocked and tell them that other people don't ask for that. So that might be a good response to try. Sorry, I had to answer that. But anyway, yeah, so try that response and see what they say. Okay.
Hi, this is Shasta. Hi, this is Shasta. I couldn't get to the phone right now. Leave a message and I'll get back to you. Thanks.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey Shasta, this is Jade calling about the listing you have on Lillian Lane. Just had a couple of questions for you. If you could give me a call back, 97. Another voicemail. Yeah, you're welcome, Erin. Do you have any other questions, or does anyone have any questions? Put the link up again. Again, if you have deals, you can submit them there. We'd be happy to help you underwrite them, close them, dispo them, all the things in all 50 states. As Sean said, the money is the same in all 50 states. Okay, let's see what else we got. So, dang. This one was sold January of 2022, relisted in March of 2023, and has been listed ever since. Since March, they've only dropped the price $10K total. So they do not have room to play.
Hi, you have reached the voicemail of
I don't think anyone's answering me because I have a out-of-state area code.
Hi, you have reached a brief message, and I will return your call. Thank you.
Oh, they hung up on me. I'll shoot her a text. I know everyone's a little different. Some people like to text. I personally like to leave a voicemail the first time, and then if I'm not getting an answer usually everybody calls me back after that, but if not, then I'll text. The only reason I don't like to text off the bat is because I think that at least in my experience, that like leaves the gate open to the agent only wanting to text, right? And be like, oh, what questions do you have? Just text them. And they ask you like a million questions before they call you. I don't like that. I just want them to call me. So that's why I like to leave a voicemail first. I'm just texting this agent though, since the voicemail thing hung up on me. Aaron, was that the one that you called on live? So all my text says is, hey, blank name. This is Jade calling about 123 Main Street. Had a couple of questions for you. When you get a chance, give me a call, please. That's all I say. Some number just... What was it, this one? I missed a call from the last agent that I called, so let's see if she'll answer.
Hi, this is Shasta.
No, Aaron, I haven't. I need to go back and look at that. I will do that as soon as I get off this. Thank you for bringing that up. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. Oh, wow. This property is marketed to cannabis industry entrepreneurs. It's 2 acres, so I guess that's prime and ready for some cannabis growing. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Is that right? Huh. I wonder what's going on here. They've had a hard time selling this property. So it looks like it was sold in 2020. And it was sold for $182 in 2020. Then in 2022, mid 2022, so almost exactly 2 years later, they listed it for $435,000. So they must have renovated it because it looks pretty nice on the inside. It's like a weird barndominium looking duplex. Anyway, so it was on the market from summer 2022 up until the end, December 2022, for 6 months. Oh my gosh, they cut the price in half from $435 to $250. Then they relisted it 7 months later at $245. Holy moly, $435 to $235. That's nuts. I wonder what's going on there. Let's hope that the agent tells us all the juice. This is interesting. Huh. Oh. Let's see. I got another call back. I don't know why that didn't pop up.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike, this is Jade. Sorry I just missed your call. About Kinnick Drive.
Yeah,
Is that one still available?
it is, yeah.
Awesome. I'm looking at it from a rental property perspective and was just curious if there was anything you could tell me about it that maybe I just can't tell from Zillow.
Yeah, so currently, you can't really tell from the photos, but the backyard's actually a little deeper than it is in the photos.
Mm.
So the builder or the developer of that land has a 25-foot retaining wall going in behind the neighborhood.
Okay.
But basically, they're developing behind those houses. So they put a retaining wall in. It's kind of hefty, pretty big operation, but they moved the fence up so they can put the retaining wall in. So right now, it should be done soon, but the fence is still up. So the backyard's a lot bigger. I can send you some paperwork on it just so you can kind of see it visually. You can probably see it from Google Maps.
Okay.
You can probably see if the house is built on Google Maps or even just like Apple Maps you can look at. You'll see the actual size of the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably 10 or 12 feet deeper than the photos show.
Okay.
Corner lot, big backyard, and you're kind of above your neighbors, right? It's kind of on the top of a hill, so
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be. People are going to be. You're looking down on people, rather than the opposite way around.
Right. Okay.
But great house. They bought it. They built it brand new, so they moved in, and they moved out because they're moving out of state. So.
Okay.
They,
just got relocated.
Yeah, they just got relocated, so that's why they had to sell.
Okay. Got it. So it's vacant right now.
It is currently vacant, yes.
Okay. Do you have an idea of what I can maybe get for it as a monthly rental?
I'm not too sure. Somewhere probably in the 2,000 range, I'd assume.
Okay. Okay. Do you know if
Maybe
there's
2,500? I'm not too sure.
Okay. There's not an HOA, right?
No.
Okay. So probably not any rental restrictions.
I doubt it, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Have you guys had any offers so far?
No offers. I think the one thing that kind of like the reason they haven't sold yet is a lot of the ones in the neighborhood are kind of 4 bedrooms. Of similar square footage actually, but they're 4 bedrooms, whereas this one has like a second living area upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So it has 2 bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs with kind of like an oversized kind of living area. Whereas I think the ones that are 4 bedroom have that broken into a bedroom and a hallway, whereas this one is just 3-2.
Gotcha.
But obviously it has a 3-car garage, and one side is extended, so you can't get 2 cars in one side, but it's a lot of room in the garage as well. So
Okay. All right. I'm assuming since they bought it not too long ago, they probably don't have a ton of wiggle room on price, right?
yeah, not a lot. I think like we started at 440,000, and we're at 410 right now. But at the same time, like it's got to sell. So
Yeah.
at some point they're gonna have to make a decision.
Right. Okay. I'm just thinking. So we buy some properties cash, but with cash we usually buying at a discount, which probably wouldn't work for them.
Sure.
We also just bought one that was kind of similar situation. It was brand new, I think 2022, and they got relocated because they were military. And they were looking to, I think they were walking away with maybe like $500 or something like that. So instead of them doing that, we just took over their mortgage and put a couple grand in their pocket. We paid their realtor. So we actually don't assume it. We just leave the mortgage in place. Are you familiar with that?
No, sorry. Say that again.
We just leave the mortgage in place. The technical term is we're purchasing the property subject to that existing lien. So we become the new owners and just take over that payment. So they no longer have to make that anymore, and they're not responsible for the property anymore.
Okay. How does that work? Like legally and everything else that goes on? Like how does that all work out? Because effectively the mortgage is still in their name, right?
It is, yeah. So since they've already moved, have they already purchased another property?
They have not.
Okay. Is that a plan to, or are they just going to rent for a while?
In the future, I'm sure at some point. They just haven't decided yet.
Okay. So with it just depending, everyone's situation's a little bit different, but if they are, renting right now, renting for a while, after a year, so at closing, let me backtrack a little bit. So if we were to go forward with this, we would write it on a traditional purchase contract, just like any other transaction. We would take it to a title company, have them open title, do a title search, all of that. The only thing that we're not going to do compared to a traditional transaction is pay off that mortgage. So we would still transfer the deed, all of that. The documents would state that we're now going to make that mortgage payment every month, including taxes, insurance, any repairs. And in terms of if they want to buy another property, we would set up a third-party servicing company once we close, and they would be keeping track of all those payments made. So when the sellers are ready to go purchase another property, they can show that lender proof that someone else is making that mortgage payment, and the lender will actually exclude it from their DTI.
Yeah. For some reason, if the payments aren't paid, does that make sense?
I just lost him. Crap.
Hey, you there?
Hey, sorry, I lost you.
I don't know why that dropped. What I was saying was, kind of just playing devil's advocate here. What happens to the sellers if for some reason the company that you work for says buy it, don't make those payments?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
And how does that work? What's the risk? Is what I'm saying.
Right. So the risk is that, right, the payment being missed. And so what we do at closing is we have that title attorney draft the deed to state, hey, if these buyers happen to miss a payment, instead of this property going to foreclosure and ruining their credit, we actually just deed the property right back to them. So at that point, they would rent it out or resell it and make more money than we've already given them, right? And with that being said, we have a pretty good track record. We own close to 80 doors all purchased this way. So we have, enough cash flow coming in to support this house, even if it remains vacant for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Just obviously not a lot of people do it this way, right? So I assume it's more common now.
Yeah, it's definitely gotten more common with, the unfortunate turn of the market and a lot of sellers not having equity.
Yeah. So, just full transparency, what is, I guess, the upside for you guys other than getting a mortgage that's 2, 5, whatever percentage it is?
So the upside to us is getting that interest rate, and also just avoiding with the banks, you get cut off at a certain time. If I'm going to the bank every month to get a conventional loan, it's a long process. It's a whole qualification process. They cut you off at a certain point. So with this way, it allows us to buy a lot more properties a lot quicker, and we're getting that good interest rate.
Right. Makes sense.
Do you want me to send you guys over an offer to look at?
Let me talk to them first, see what they think, and just kind of see. Is this your office phone number?
Yeah, you can call or text me on this number. I'll just put together, I obviously don't have their exact mortgage numbers, but I'll put together just some estimated numbers and send you over just a letter of intent stating, what the numbers would look like and kind of how the process works, so you guys can have that to review.
Okay. Thanks, Jade.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right, bye. Okay, another offer going out. I need to get his email address, though. I didn't ask for that. Can you please? So just dissecting that a little bit, I would say that whenever I started going down the path, I think I went a little faster than I would have liked, right? I think I would have liked to backtrack. I think I took a step ahead of the process, which could or did cause some confusion, instead of just slowing down and starting from this is, we do the contract and going from there. I kind of skipped a few steps and then had to backtrack myself. So just a lesson there, slow down and walk through this step so you don't lose somebody in the conversation. He seemed to be understanding for the most part. It doesn't sound like he's had any calls offering this. He didn't sound familiar with it at all, right? But it sounds like it's a viable option for the sellers. They've already moved. The house is vacant. He's like, they're going to have to make a decision soon, right? They keep dropping this price and they're making 2 mortgage payments. Didn't necessarily sound like they had plans to buy something immediately, so even better. What did you guys take away from that call? Feedback, constructive criticism, welcomed. Also, something that I don't really advise to do is I asked him if he wanted me to send an offer. I think I just caught up in the moment. I don't advise asking them if you can send an offer, because I think you're open the door to a lot of them saying no, right? Like he basically said no. He was like, not yet, like let me talk to them. And that's when I backtracked and said, let me just send it, right? That's what I always do, is basically tell them, hey, I'm going to send this for you to look at, not can I send it? Do I have your permission to send it? You do have permission to send it. So just, hey, what's a good email? I'm going to shoot you over an offer to help you guys visualize something to look at, right? What else can I break down from that? Cool. We got 2 offers that will be going out. Thanks. Hope you guys got something from that, good or bad, do's or don'ts. Okay, I'm almost at the hour mark. I think I'll make one more phone call and then call it a day if you guys don't have any questions or leads. Yeah, so on that initial phone call, I try not to go too in depth, right? I'm trying to just scrape the minimum of like the basic concerns, right? And not, I don't even try to go too deeply into that because it's a lot, right? For one phone call, something they've never heard, you're trying to send them this offer, they don't know what you're talking about, and you just try to do a full-on deep dive of all the ins and outs. It's a lot, and they're most likely not going to take all that information, and it might just overwhelm them to the point where like, this is weird, this is too much, I don't even want to look at the offer. So I just try to scrape the surface of it. This is what it is. This is how it benefits your client. He asked how it benefits us, so I explained that a little bit. I just like to explain. I like to point out stuff without necessarily saying it. So I think you telling them we close at a title company, that tells them this is legal and this is doable, right? Without you saying it, that tells them that. Oh, okay, they go and do a title search and they close out a title company and get title insurance. That to them makes it feel more like a normal transaction. I tell them that I pay their commission. I make sure to always say that in the beginning. Tell them we pay closing cost. And then even though he wasn't really sure if they wanted to buy, I wanted to go ahead and kind of kill that to the point of letting him know that they could buy in case that was going to be a hard stop in the beginning. I just wanted to cross that line there. I'm probably going to have to go back and go in more detail with him about that because I just kind of scraped the surface. That's always my goal, is to not overwhelm them, but just give them some like golden points and let them know it's legit, and then send over the offer to go deeper with it. Okay. I had another agent call back while I was on the phone.
Hello?
Hey, Vicki, this is Jade. Sorry, I just missed your call.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I was just calling about this listing on Willand Drive. I had a couple of questions. I'm looking at it from a rental perspective and just kind of wanted to give you a call, get some insight on your thoughts about it, and just any information you have that I couldn't find on Zillow.
Okay, actually, that would be amazing if you did it as a rental. I actually have renters who would love to rent it beginning in September.
Awesome.
I had sold this house a little over, about a year and a half ago at this point, to a client who planned on moving back to Oklahoma, but then ended up taking a job and not moving back. So her son was living in the house, and then he actually got transferred out of state. So he was renting from her, and she doesn't want to have it as a rental. She wants to sell it. So the people who were renting it, whenever she bought it, I saw it was for sale and reached out to me, and because they never wanted to move in the first place. They're an older couple. They don't want to purchase. They just want to rent, indefinitely. they took really good care of the house. I mean, it's a really good house, but, with my client selling it, or first buying it, they had to move out, and then my client doesn't want to rent to them. I actually tried to buy it, to rent it to them, and I couldn't. So, yeah, it's been, I was trying to help them both out, and they're really good people. And they would take care of the house, and I told them, $1,400 a month rent. They were cool with that, but it didn't work out, so that would be amazing.
Do you think $1,400 is the most we can get as is?
A month?
Yeah.
I don't know, because I've never actually researched the rental properties in Stillwater to see what they go for. I would have to look. I was just basing it on payment and insurance if I were to purchase it. So that's what, I was basing it on. Because basically these people who are willing to rent will basically just pay the mortgage and buy the house for you. Right.
That's always a plus.
Yeah. And, they're older. They're in their late 50s. So they have, at least a good 30 years. So by then it'd be paid off.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I can see that it probably needs some maybe not with them, but just in general, maybe some cosmetic updating. Is there anything else that you know of that would need to be done to it?
No, actually, during our inspections, it was really good. It was a really solid house. The cosmetic updates, the flooring's older. The carpet is like Berber carpet, which, it just lasts long, but it's not really the prettiest.
Right.
So, and then there's some paneling, that you can either paint or remove in the hallway. Now, on the back, I would probably redo siding to make it look nicer. And that way you don't have to paint. Just the upkeep would be a lot less.
Yeah.
With siding versus, having to paint. That's really about it.
Is it, so it's vacant right now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Have you guys had any offers so far?
We had offers, but my client wasn't able to take them, being that she's only owned it a year and a half. They were too low for her to be able to break even.
Okay. So she doesn't have really any wiggle room from that list price right now.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that, I could send over a cash offer, but it'd probably just be too low. We closed on a house maybe 2 weeks ago. It's kind of similar situation where they had just bought it like 8 months ago prior to listing it again. And they were actually having to write a check to close on the house. And so what we did instead of, is that what she has to do too?
Not at this price. She wouldn't have to, right now. So she originally wanted to make at least $10,000 off of it because, the money she put down and all those things. Because she's looking at the bigger picture. To at least break even that way.
Yeah. I'm thinking this might be a good fit for her. What we did with that seller is we just took over their mortgage and put cash in their pocket so they didn't have to. They got more than what they would actually get if they sold it on, conventional loan. And we paid the realtor commission and closing costs, so they didn't have to worry about that. So they actually came out more net positive than they would have with a conventional offer.
We've actually had a lot of people ask to do that, and she didn't want to keep the loan in her name.
Okay. Is there something that is she trying to go purchase another property? Or is there something specific that's bugging her about it?
She eventually wants to purchase property in maybe Florida, I guess, at this point. But she just doesn't want it in her name at all.
Okay. So even if
that's what I was wanting to do, was I'll take over the mortgage, which I didn't have to pay it because I had renters.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do the same thing. She doesn't want to do that.
Okay, so even if she could go buy another property, she still doesn't want to entertain that?
Right.
Okay. Is there a certain...
Unless there's a time frame
I was
for
gonna
how
say,
long
yeah.
that property would be in her name.
Okay, yeah. Is there a certain time frame that she's comfortable with?
She hasn't said. Because the other people, there was no time frame. Basically, they wanted to keep a good interest rate and, take over the loan and then refinance when interest rates were better, which we don't know when that is.
Sure.
She wants an actual time frame, and they weren't able to provide that to her.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could work with giving her a time frame. Do you happen to have I can get estimates if you don't, but do you happen to have a mortgage statement with the firm numbers?
I do not.
Okay, what I'll do is just draft up an offer with the estimated numbers that I do have and send that over to you just to get the conversation started and see if it's something she's willing to work with us on.
Okay. Let's see. Actually, the last mortgage statement was from a couple months ago. Look at my email. I might be able to find the one from a couple months ago. And I can't remember how much it is because I've dealt with too many houses and things.
That's okay. If you can find it, that's great. If not, we'll just work with what we have for now.
Okay.
If you could, do you mind texting me a good email for you, and I will hopefully get that offer out to you either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, I will text it to you right now.
Perfect.
And then if I find, which I know, I just got to get on my laptop and I can get and see what the payoff was and when it was.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Perfect. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
That's funny. The agent tried to Subto the house herself, and the seller said no. That's funny. Well, maybe if we throw a balloon on there, the seller will entertain it. Cool. 3 offers so far. A couple, I think, still have to call me back. Any last thoughts, questions, concerns? Let me know in the comments real quick. Let me throw this link in here again. You guys have any deals that you need help with? Whether that be underwriting, closing, dispoing, submit them here. We'd be happy to take a look at those, help you in any way we can. Other than that, I'm going to get off here so I can get to work on these offers and make some more calls this afternoon. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you all next week.